So I saved you guys the liberty of having to sit through more simulation or gameplay because I wasn't planning on playing any more games this season. So we're at the end of the season. We missed the playoffs. It was very close at the end. We thought I was gonna have to come on at the end here. We went on a 4-game winning streak, but we lost the last 4 games of the season. That's just, it seems like that we were that kind of team. We were such a streaky team this year. Injuries piled up at the end of the year. Hodgson missed all but the last 2 or 3 games. Nicholas Backstrom missed most of the end of the season. Johansson only missed actually he didn't miss any time. He got injured in the last game. And Joel Ward was out for most of the end of the season. So just injuries really tore apart the team at the end of the year. Ovechkin finished with 77 points, but after that it was kind of all a crapshoot. Backstrom had 48 points in 59 games. Hopefully he can bounce back next season. Hodgson, 47 in 67. Johansson finished with 47, 38 of which were assists. Joel Ward finished with 40. Kuznetsov, 39. Niskanen, 39. Carlson, 34. And after that it was just kind of depth. We had a lot of players. Everyone who played over 60 games had at least... what the fuck? It just stopped? Alright. Oh, there it is. Never mind. I'm sorry about that. I thought it stopped recording for a second. I'm going to leave this in. Yeah, but everyone who played over 60 games had at least 10 points, besides Dmitry Orlov, who was freaking terrible. So yeah, goaltending-wise, Holtby really brought it down at the end of the year, 262, which is pretty good, even though he had a really bad record. 914 save percentage, which is pretty good, and only 4 shutouts, 4 assists on the year. He has as many assists as he had shutouts. So he's definitely a bright spot. Hopefully he can progress a little bit. So we're gonna move past this area of the season and into the off season. Yeah, NHL regular season is whatever. So yeah, we're gonna have to figure out what kind of a team we're gonna be going into the off season. We have a lottery pick, so I kind of want to I don't know. I was throwing around trading it for a first line player, but at the same time, I don't know if that's a good idea. Depending on how good it is. Garrett Mitchell. I don't know how good of an idea it is. I feel like at the same time, though, we can't really rebuild because we have players like Ovechkin and Backstrom and Johansson who are good enough to be good players, solid contributors, or better to a contending team. I want to keep Joel Ward. That third line with Jay Beagle and Tom Wilson was really good when I played with them. So, I don't know. I feel like we can be a good team if we don't, aren't susceptible to injuries. I definitely am interested in a couple people. I'm not going to get McDavid because it seems like, 1, everyone does that, and 2, it's super unrealistic for that to happen. So that's the wrong league. Alright, so I'm still not used to... I have to use the sticks because my D-pad's been kind of shitty lately. And every game besides Destiny hasn't worked right. So McDavid's a top 10, obviously. I'm looking at this guy, Dylan Strome, playmaker. He looks like he has some pretty good stuff. Not so solid body checking, but he's a center. And he's also off. It looks like he's pretty good offensively. He's a couple years away, at least, from playing in the NHL. But I feel like he's a solid prospect to have in our system, maybe use in a trade. And I also like this guy, Travis Konecny. Center, 5'10", 166. I haven't scouted a whole lot of him because I believe if we go to the scouting report, it scouted the hell out of McDavid, and I don't know why, because I never at any point planned to get McDavid. I think the Jersey Devils are going to get McDavid. So this has Barzal, McDavid, Pilon. No interest in a defenseman whatsoever. So, from the looks of it, we can get Strome or Konecny. I haven't really scouted any of these other players. I want a playmaker, preferably a winger, but I haven't actually scouted this guy at all, I don't think. but this guy might be a better option for us. Let's go back to the right wing, or not the right wing. Let's go back to the dub for the rest of our time, since we already know about these other guys. Yeah. If you go to McDavid, it's got like all his stats. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like all his stats are green. So you know, McDavid's gonna be great player, for whatever team he goes to. But that team's not gonna be ours. So we're gonna go back to the dub, I believe. Yeah. Scout out that right wing. I don't know what I'm scared of happening. What the hell happened? What I'm scared of happening though is I draft someone who's got not 5-star potential. So that's one of the big fears I have, and I'm pretty sure that Dylan Strome has 5-star potential. Is it this Dieno guy? Yeah. He's a little older, though. That's also what I'm concerned about. But we'll see in the prospects game when they play just how good some of them actually are. I want to see if our GM rep is up enough to increase scouting. I don't know what it actually does in terms of this point in the season, but no, we're not even close, actually. We have a good GM rep, even though we kind of made some kind of shady trades. The Mike Green trade was a little lopsided in our favor, I thought. In the end, Mike Green is probably not worth Seth Jones. They would never make that trade IRL. But at the same time, it was a video game. You know, Nashville was a pretty good team, and they could have got Mike Green for a potential playoff push. And Seth Jones, I don't know. I'm just like, I feel like that they actually ended up getting the better end of that trade from the game's perspective. But if Seth Jones pans out and turns into a top 2 defenseman, we're obviously going to have the better end of that trade. That's another thing with this team is progression. If Kuznetsov and Johansson progress, I feel like this team can be good. I have hope for Kuznetsov because this upcoming season, because he played most of the season without Cody Hodgson, who got injured, and that's when his point production really started to dip. He had like only 8 goals for the end of the season, and there's a lot of time to sim through here between the end of the season and the draft when you're not in the playoffs. I didn't even check who was in the playoffs. I think we're going into the 3rd round. I guess the Bruins are taking on in the Eastern Conference Finals, if that's what we're in right now. That's minor leagues. Yeah, Bruins won again, it looks like. Philly and Boston are in the conference finals. Whatever. Vancouver and Blackhawks, it looks like they're... Actually, let's follow our AHL team through the playoffs. I didn't realize that I forgot that we were in the playoffs for the AHL. Or I didn't realize it, I guess. Dmitry Orlov's doing good. It looks like. Oh, Game 7. Can we win this one? No. Alright, so we'll continue to... Philip Grubauer. I remember he was terrible last year in the NHL. Cup final. Bruins, Blackhawks. I think that was what it was. Not this last year, but the year before that. Huh. Bruins... I don't know who's up in the series or not. Whatever. Dub. They're done in the dub. So let's see if we got anything new on this guy that I was looking at, this right wing. I hate how the doesn't keep by projection. Oh, so this guy actually fell down a little bit. If we get an extra 2nd round pick, he might not be a bad player to pick up just for the hell of it, or an extra 1st round pick, excuse me. We can go back to the O and look at the status on Dylan Strome. So it looks like he's a lower 1st round pick. I like his stats though. I think he could be good for us. But if someone like Barzal falls to us, or I didn't check this Davies guy. I don't think he's I wanted a playmaker specifically, so I believe there was like a shit ton of 2-way forwards. Oh, Bruins are up in the Stanley Cup Finals, it looks like. And the Blackhawks won. And the Bruins won the Stanley Cup, so they got their revenge. I didn't even send that guy back out. So we'll go back in the in the O for 6 weeks. I believe that'll take us right up to the draft, which is actually the draft's like right here. This is June. Yeah, this is June. So we're only like 2 weeks away from the draft. Before we get into the draft itself, I'm going to check the trading block and look at some of the contracts that we have to renew. I don't have any bad contracts since I traded Jason Chimera. He was really the last kind of bad contract. Troy Browers isn't that great, but it's not terrible either, and also it's only 2 more years. So, yeah, I have a feeling that we have more cap than that. It'll kick over in a minute. I'm pretty sure. I hope we do anyway. I thought we had like 26 because we had a lot of players to re-sign. I'm thinking mostly short-term deals for some of the younger guys like Johansson and Kuznetsov. I think we have to re-sign Kuznetsov. Actually, he might be 1 more year away. Yeah, so contracts have not kicked over yet. Our average age is 27. So contracts here. We have to, in the offseason, re-sign. That's not the right season. We have to re-sign, not him, Joel Ward, major player for us. Nick Schultz, maybe. No. Derek Roy, I want to re-sign. I don't care. I'm releasing most of these people. Eric Fair, possibly, depends on his asking price. Jay Beagle, I want to re-sign. Volpati will probably be gone. Yeah, some of these lower level guys I like for depth, but not. Oh, I signed Philip Larson too, just to see if he shot up at any point. Johansson's got to be re-signed. He's gonna want a couple mil, maybe 4 or 5. He's gonna be up there. Gormley got to be re-signed. Kuznetsov's got to be re-signed. Other than that, we're gonna have a good bit of cap space to mess with if there's a top free agent. That's gonna be big for us. Maybe like a Martin St. Louis. I was looking at the free agents beforehand, and I'll show you again if I can, but I might not be able to. Sidney Crosby won the Art Ross, but that was expected. He didn't lead the league in points. Should check the awards because it looks like Evgeny Kuznetsov won the Calder actually, even though he only had 39 points. So who is retired? Shane Doan. Daniel Alfredson. Pavel Datsuk retired already? That's crazy. Zidlicki. Michael Hanzus. Willie Mitchell. Sergei Gonchar. Manny Malhotra. Patrick Eliash. Bryce Salvador. He's terrible. He didn't even score 30 goals in his career. That's freaking sad. Matt Cullen. Mike Fisher. Jason Chimera. Sammy Salo. Matthias Oland. Lubomir Wisnowski. Martin St. Louis actually retired, so we couldn't pursue him. Kimmo Timonen, Carlo Koliakovo, Chris Pronger, even though he'd pretty much been retired. Todd Bertuzzi, Brandon Morrow, Stefan Robida, and Ray Whitney, who was a free agent. Thomas Caberlet. No one else, it looks like, really. Joe Corvo. That's about it. So, let's keep going. Oh, we got to check the trading block here. So second line forwards, I was looking at second line forwards who could possibly jump up, and none of them I really liked. Kadri was probably the front runner because he's a playmaker. Scheifele, I didn't notice Scheifele actually, but I think this is after progression, so Scheifele could be interesting. He has good passing, decent shooting, not great faceoffs if you play him on the wing. Great offensive awareness though, so. Actually, might be a good idea to trade for him. Tarasenko is another one I was looking at, but his potential has gone down. It was 5 yellows. So Scheifele. Scheifele's the one to remember. All right. Yeah. Can I look at free agents for the upcoming free agents? Yes, I can. So upcoming free agents as of right now: Jason Spezza, Mike Green, Mark Stahl, Sekera Ehrhoff. Yager, Justin Williams. I was like, Matt Zuccarello would be nice. Brad Richards would be okay for a year or two. Or Drew Stafford's another one. That wasn't who I was looking at though. It was where is he? He's on the Rangers. Hagelin. Hagelin was a free agent. I was pretty sure anyway he was an upcoming free agent. That's Thomas Fleischman's pretty good too. Maybe he's not. Huh. No, let's try that. Yeah, Hagelin. He went down in potential, so but he'd be a good second liner to complement Kuznetsov and Hodgson. Derek Roy was my backup plan for that. I was going to play him on the wing, but he could be a good third line center possibly. So let's move up here to the draft. We have the 11th overall pick, and let's just hope Dylan Strome does not go before our pick. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. So McDavid, Satcher, Barzal did go. I was kind of worried for a second that Barzal would still be available and I'd want to go with him. Pilon's still available, but I've seen he doesn't progress very well. Davies, yeah, these guys are all like two-way forwards, or I haven't scouted them. I'm going with Dylan Strome. He's the safe pick, I think. We'll continue. We'll go on into the second round. Make a pick here. Hopefully Dylan Strome was good. If not, I'm going to be biting that pick. Yeah, so I don't know who else we've really scouted out. Sniper. What about goalies? I didn't look at goalies at all. It doesn't look like anyone fell. So, who I scouted, who do I have information on? That's what I'm going to be mostly interested in. So I have information on both of these snipers as well as this offensive defenseman. So let's look into what would be our best bet. So that's mostly reds and yellows, not really a lot of greens. I'm going to assume this is going to be pretty much the same situation. Actually, a pretty couple greens here. Not so great defensive awareness, powerful shot, but not accurate yet. Pretty good skater, decent anyway. Not like he's gonna blow you away, but skating actually improves now, which is awesome because it never used to. I'd rather go with this guy, this Austrian fellow, who's also a sniper, and we're gonna finish the draft after that. So Zwerger and Strome. All right. Let's see. Whoops. This is going to be a big re-sign, by the way. And I also don't think the .85 rule works anymore. So what I'm going to do is go with .9 instead when I go to re-sign players. We should have more than 22 mil available. Trade Block says welcome Joe Thornton. If he was a little less expensive, they're probably going to have to give up a lot to get him. I would totally be interested. But it's going to take a lot to get a player like Big Joe Thornton. So this guy's a 4-star, actually. That's pretty good. Hard shot, not super accurate, terrible passing. Definitely a guy who's not going to be signed right away. And Strome. And he was only a 4-star, man. That sucks. He's also lower overall than the guy we took in the second round. But, you know, maybe he can progress. Who knows? Whatever. So most of our top players are signed. John Carlson, Alsner, Niskanen. Joel Ward, let's get down to business. Joel Ward wants 2.825 for 2 years. I like that. That's a good price. That was a lot lower than I was expecting for him. I was thinking that he was going to want a good amount. So let's do it times 9, 2.55 approximately. Alright. I can swing that, I guess. 2.55 for 2 years. That's good. He's an 85, so his regression's not going to be super severe. Johansson wants a good deal. Actually doesn't really go down that much. It doesn't look like he's going to progress a whole lot. So we'll go with 3 years for 3.5. Just 3.5 flat. Let's try 3.5 flat for him. So that's roughly $6 million that we've given out so far. Derek Roy, he is 3-star, so he might be good as like a third liner. I'm not going to sign him for too long a term. Looks like he wants a lot. We'll go with 2.3 for him. And we can always trade him if something comes up. Evgeny Kuznetsov. He's pretty fair priced. 1.175. Doesn't look like he's going to get much better, which kind of scares me. He's only a third line scoring forward right now. So we'll go 1.65 for him. Seems like a fair price. Eric Fair, how much does he want? Yeah, I'm not going with that. We'll come back to him. Gormley, I want to lock in for the short term. We'll go with the 2-year deal because it saves us a good amount of money, and it'll give us more of an idea of how his progression's going. 1.25 for you. Wilson's all good. Jay Beagle, I want to re-sign. But right now, let's advance a day. I also got to check on Holtby too. Let's advance a day, see who signs or whatnot. I'm trading Dmitry Orlov. That's the final straw because he went down to Red Stars. It's ridiculous how not great he's been. Actually, I need to play him in the minors possibly. Derek Roy came back. All these guys are back, so we have 14 mil left to work with. Erskine is gonna be gone. Newberry gonna be gone. I'll sign new guys for depth. Nick Schultz will come back too. This guy is gonna be gone. Same with this guy. All these guys are 2.5 star. I don't want on the team. Volpati, yeah, you can go away. Fair, Beagle will leave. Tim Kennedy will say bye to. Oleski, goodbye. Wellman. Wellman I'll resign. Cameron Schilling. Schmidt, I might resign. No, we can get rid of this guy. No, it's reset. We can get rid of Schilling. And Mitchell. These guys who just have 2.5 stars. Actually, that guy's already got a good overall, so we can keep him around for depth. But Way, goodbye. And there's another UFA down there. Yeah, we don't need him. Anyone who I would want to sign immediately. Nystrom. When did we get this guy? Oh, he was our 3rd round pick. He looks like he's better than the other guys already. Actually, he looks like he'd be a good player already if his defense would get a little bit better, and his skating's kind of below average. But we'll say we got 3 pretty good picks out of that. We'll sign this guy because no, we don't need to sign him actually. Yeah, those guys can remain unsigned for now. That's it. So I need Jay Beagle and that other guy, and then we're gonna have to figure out how the team is gonna look. Nick Schultz, I'm actually gonna resign to $1.1 million, 1.125. That's fine with me. Just because he's listed as a top 6, and I don't want to risk not having a top 6 defenseman. And you know, we'll resign Eric Fair for 1 year, 1.855 roughly. Jay Beagle, another one I want to resign. He wants a 2-way deal. I'll sign him for. Oh, he's only a depth forward actually. You know what? In that case, we'll give him the max on a 2-way deal. He performed very well for us, and Wellman was another one who I liked what I saw from him, and he also plays center. So that guy can go. Actually, I said I was going to keep him because of his he has a good overall already. Larson I want to keep around just to see. It doesn't look like he's going to get a whole lot better, so I'll keep him around for 1 more year. Depth purposes, he's also listed as a top 6 already, which is a good sign. Nate Schmidt, this guy looks like a clown, but we'll sign him anyway. Chris Brown, he played a little bit in the NHL this year. Might as well give him a contract. He's listed as a 4th line forward. And we'll sign. You know, we'll leave those roster spots open. Holtby was the other guy I got to re-sign. Pasquale, Grubauer. Actually, he's 79 overall. This guy, however, can be released. Who's this guy? Alex Dubois. We picked him in the 4. We had a good draft. I didn't even draft like 95% of it. It was a good draft, though. I'll sign him. Actually, he'll be our backup in the minors. Actually, I don't think he'd be our backup in the minors. But Holtby, let's see. He wants a 4. That's a very good price for him. He's a starting goalie. What is his What's his .9 look like? That's a pretty good contract, I think. 0.9, 3.8. So we'll give him 4. I don't want to be too much of an ass to him. He ended up having a pretty good season when it was all said and done. I'll give him 4 for 3 years. Grubauer, sure, we'll give him that. He's still listed as a minor starting goalie. And Eddie Pasquale, same with him as a minor starter. What's Dubois look like? Other. We'll give him an entry-level deal. Just for the hell of it. Who's this guy? Zach Bowman. Looks like we took him in the draft, too. Oh, we had 2 third-round picks. That's right. So we had our top 5 picks in the draft were all pretty solid. And this guy's not even that bad. 7th round pick. So it looks like our drafting team did a really, really good job of picking out players. No, so Brendan Gallagher is actually going to be an RFA. That's interesting. I don't think that anyone really good is going to end up in free agency. And I think this is going to be another tweener year for us where we're not going to be able to really pick up anything useful in free agency. And we're also not going to have enough to like really compete, so to speak. Franz Nielsen would be nice, but not really at the same time. Martin Erat. Marcel Gotch looks like these guys aren't that great. Let me stop. On the last day. I don't think that. Nope, it didn't work. Never mind. Martin Havlat. I have to actually go into free agency because sometimes it still screws up and doesn't show everyone. So we'll do that. Nope, Franz Nielsen is the best. He's a playmaker. Not so great face-offs. We already have a second line center, don't we? I don't know. What's the offer sheet stuff look like? Brandon Gallagher's a two-way forward. If I were to jack it up so that I didn't have to give up a first, but I could get him still, or at least cripple the Canadians a little bit. Isn't it like compensation I gotta go under? $3.871. Alright. I'm willing to give him that. If I don't get him, I mean, that's just crippling the cap for Montreal. He just actually signed an extension today, which is really funny that he's in free agency now. Brendan Gallagher would be someone I would... What was the number even? Hold on, let me look at other players first. Erat. Let's look at my team. I gotta look at my team. That's calendar. I know my top 6 is pretty much still together. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Alright, we could use a 12th forward. Yeah, we could use a 12th forward. A grinder or something, if nothing else. But I like Gallagher. Martin Havlat's actually listed. Marty Havlat is listed as a second line forward. He could be pretty good for that second line. 86 passing. Just a good 1-year player. I mean, I can use as much cap space as I want for 1 year. Oh, I might need a defenseman too. Now I see Alec Martinez. Might need a defenseman. Didn't think about that. Although I have Nick Schultz, who's not the worst top 6 defenseman in the world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we got plenty of options in terms of that. So we should be all good there. Alright. Go back to compensation. You kind of want to get 3.87. Alright. 3.87. Marty Havlat would be interesting though. 3.87. Alright. Alright. 3.87 for 7 years. You know, that's a deal I would lock him into if I was Montreal. If not, they're gonna be screwed. The only thing is I wouldn't have a second round pick. That's not a super huge important thing though. So defenseman. I want a defenseman. More and more I think about it. But UFAs. These guys actually aren't very good. They want 2 years mostly. What about goalies? No one good from the looks of it. Prospects though. Yeah, Brendan Burke. I'll sign him just for the progression potential. Jordan Subban. I might sign him just because I like Jordan Subban. Landon Ferraro. What's he? Oh shit. Landon. What the hell happened? Oh. Landon Ferraro. Two-way forward. He could be pretty good. Yeah. Sign him. Just for 1 year. And Jordan Subban, because I like Jordan Subban. Probably should have given him a little bit more money. I don't know if I can do that now, though. They used to be like, please wait till I respond to your previous offer. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. This guy's on the Rangers, I'm pretty sure. The UFA. He's signing for depth. No, won't do that. What I will do though is I'll just no, I'll look at depth. Depth options who are more interested in like two-way contracts, like Colby Armstrong would be nice. Patrick Eaves. What's Colby Armstrong look like? Pretty solid defensive player. We'll get him just on a two-way deal. Greg Campbell. I like Greg Campbell. Grinder for the Boston Bruins. Pretty good at face-offs too. Sign him. Oh, actually, he wants a two-way. He doesn't want a two-way contract because he's listed as a fourth liner. Peter Reagan is a playmaker. You know, for offensive depth, we could use a guy like him. Schlemko, Andrew Desjardins, Chad LaRose, Mark Letestu, Adam Burish, Sean Horkoff, Derek Morris. Sean Horkoff would be cool. Now he's really good at face-offs. Sure. Again, these guys are all going to be depth, so it's just really going to be, like, not important who it is. James Shepard, Rafael Diaz. Too many people listed as top 6 defensemen. Like Komisarek, Koska, Brian Lee, Aaron Rome, Ryan Whitney. And he's really fallen off the map. Erskine, Bobby Sanguinetti. No, he's not listed as a depth defenseman. I wanted a depth defenseman. So we'll get Michael Koska. Alright, we're all good there. So nothing really big in free agency unless we get Brendan Gallagher. Trying to think of if I want Franz Nielsen now. I don't think I do though for that. Yeah, freaking Jordan Subban, because I didn't sign him to the correct deal. Went with another team, so it's all good. Yeah, we're not gonna look at Franz Nielsen then. Peter Reagan signed Sean Horkoff. Gallagher took our deal, but it needs to be Brendan Burke actually went somewhere else. Gallagher took our deal, but it might be matched. Oh wow, that's cool. The Montreal Canadiens have chosen not to match your offer. Given the small salary at stake, you are required to supply 1 draft pick as compensation. Sweet. We got Brendan Gallagher, good second line forward for us. Hopefully. So that rounds out our top 6, very young top 6. Ovechkin will be the oldest player. He's about 30, I'm pretty sure at this point. It does kind of put us in a bind next year, but you know we're like a couple years away from a good contract year again. This year we have to re-sign no one important. It looks like Troy Brouwer, his deal's gonna go way down. Yeah, it looks like we just gain a lot of money without really having to do anything besides Seth Jones is gonna have to be re-signed that year. So let's go forward in our simulation to the 13th, I believe it is, when everything kicks over. And then I'm gonna do all the lines and stuff in the next episode, and we'll play the season opener. So while we're simming, it's awesome. We got Brendan Gallagher. That's really all I have to say. Justin Peters was a weak point on the team, but I don't feel like any backup goalie on the market's really going to do a whole lot extra. So, Martin Brodeur is still a free agent. He's still like trucking, I guess, would be the best way to phrase it. There isn't really a good way to phrase it, that is. It's also very late. And I will be going to sleep after I record this, but I needed to record this because I haven't recorded one in a while. So, yeah, it's kind of necessary. Roberto Luongo on the trade block. We can check the trade block once everything kicks over. See who's on it. See if anyone's good or interesting enough to trade for. Because, for instance, if there's someone who's like not great, but interesting, like a lower tier forward, I'd be okay with that. So Derek Roy, I don't know where Derek Roy actually slots into this team anymore. I liked that line with the third line with Tom Wilson, Jay Beagle, and Joel Ward. But Jay Beagle's not a center, which I knew already. Yeah. So I want the team to get 44 wins this season. I hope we get 44 wins, man. It would break my heart if we didn't. Roster moves. So, I don't think anyone else... Oh, Brouwer actually dropped. That's not good. Forwards wise, Kuznetsov, yeah, he dropped. No one really progressed. Actually, Kuznetsov's listed as the third... Oh. Whoops. I know this problem exists. Let me save and come back real quick. It shouldn't take too long. This episode's going to be longer anyway. It's an off-season episode. There's no gameplay, whatever. Save and exit, and then we'll come back. I'm slacking this year. I've only done one GM mode. I had like 7 saves last year. By like December. I also had the game from launch last December because I was like, this game's going to be great. And then last year's game really disappointed me. It wasn't very good at all. This year's game is actually really good in terms of gameplay. It fixed a lot of the stuff that was wrong with last year's game. So, go back into be a GM mode. Kuznetsov went up by like 3 overall, which is awesome. You know what that makes me wonder, though, is if Burakovsky went up, because I don't have a place for Burakovsky on my team. Yeah. I hope by the time I start the next GM mode that I'm going to do, they do a good big roster update. I might wait till after the deadline to start it. I'm not even done with this one, so I'm getting way ahead of myself, but still. Alright. So, Brouwer's still a third-line scorer, though. I'm not surprised by that at all. Yeah, so, Ovechkin, Backstrom, Kuznetsov, Johansson, Joel Ward is listed as a third liner. I'm not surprised by that. Cody Hodgson, Brendan Gallagher, Troy Brouwer, Tom Wilson progressed a good bit, Fair, Roy, and Latta. Am I missing anyone? Jay Beagle. That's who I'm missing. So, send Latta down. Actually, Latta's a little bit better. Let's see who's better. Actually, I don't think this really should be a discussion because Jay Beagle's got 85 faceoffs and he's only a winger. What the hell? He had 9 goals for us, 14 points. He was a minus, though. Latta played with us for a good bit, though, too, and he had 4 goals. That was it. No, I'd rather have Jay Beagle. Goalies, back, hope he stayed the same, but whatever. He's not going to be great. Wow, actually Pasquale went up to an 80, so that's something to keep an eye on. Alex Dubois. Grubauer stayed at 79. I'm not surprised by that. Seth Jones, how did he progress? 84, alright, he's getting there. He'll get there eventually. So it looks like we're going to have a pretty good defensive core this year. Dmitry Orlov. Now I'm in a bind here. Alsner. No, I don't like Dimitriov enough to give him another shot. Philip Larson actually progressed pretty well, though. We're going to bring him up and send Jordan Schultz down. Or Nick Schultz. Wrong Schultz. Now, if I had Jordan Schultz, it wouldn't be a discussion. I have, like, no depth whatsoever. Yeah, Burakovsky didn't go up by much either, so that's actually... It's weird as it is to say good for our team. We have, like, so many centers. As soon as injuries come, we're going to be screwed. So, if I try and send someone down, I believe it's going to tell me that I would be below the minimum. Yep. So, now we can form our lines, even though I said I wasn't going to do this in this episode. Brendan Gallagher, it says to put on the second line. I have too many, like, good players. I know, shouldn't be complaining about that. Let's keep this Beagle. As weird as it is to have Derek Roy on my fourth line, I want to keep this Beagle, Ward, Wilson third line together just because they played so solid last year. It's hard to justify not keeping them together. It's all good by me. You know what we will do though is we'll put Gallagher on the power play. We want Hodgson to center. Why wouldn't Hodgson center? Because he has better face-offs than Kuznetsov, I'm pretty sure. 76. And Kuznetsov's are 68. Yeah. I don't know why he's listed as a center anyway. I don't even think he plays center. I don't think. He might. We'll put Roy on the power play just to bolster it up as much as possible. Actually, what hand does Kuznetsov shoot with left? So he should probably theoretically be on the right wing. But I think that's the same story with Ovechkin, though. He's left-handed. Yeah, no, he's right-handed, so he should play the left wing. Let's try Kuznetsov on the right. See if that bolsters his goal scoring a little bit. Four-man. Never going to have to really worry about that, but just in case. Hopefully we can get some health on our team this year. That was one of the big problems last year. I'm going to put Beagle on the top line penalty kill with Joel Ward. And then the second line will be... who else can win face-offs? Gallagher. Let's see. 70. Eric Fair. His defense kind of sucks, actually. This is more for when I play than anything else. But what about Tom Wilson? 60. He's actually not that great defensively either. Gallagher's face-offs are okay. He can center a line. He's not that great defensively either, but... and then we'll put Brouwer on here, because he's pretty good defender. Yeah, 85s. And physical, too. So, you kind of got everyone covered on here in terms of this. Jay Beagle and Brendan Gallagher. 4-on-4 lines, Kuznetsov, Hodgson, then Kuznetsov on the wing. And we'll put Roy with Johansson. Seems good to me. Extra attacker is going to be Ovechkin and Kuznetsov. And goalie looks like that. So we should be all set to go. Yep. Looks like that's going to be it. So, sim through the preseason. First game is going to be against the Coyotes. We got to do scout assignments. The big one in this one is Day. I'm pretty sure. He's in the dub. No, he's in the O. Alright. 6 weeks. We should be able to do scouting assignment at this point. Still can't believe I actually got an RFA to sign with my team. That's never happened to me before. They usually always match it. And I feel like in a couple years, even if not now, Brendan Gallagher's going to be a player. Brendan Gallagher now is probably even a player that's worth that much. He made more than that on his extension, so IRL. Let me look actually at the exact specifics. It was a 6-year deal, so it's only 1 year longer than it is here. Brendan Gallagher Tumblr is like the top hit. What the hell? Twitter. Semis. I think we can manage the semis. I didn't realize he got suspended today either. Full details of Gallagher's extension: 5.5, 4.5, 2.75, 3.4, and it doesn't say his AAV. Oh, 3.75 million. So that's almost exactly what we just paid him. We went undefeated in the preseason. That's really good. Derek Roy actually led our team in assists on the 4th line. It must be that power play. Off-season recap. I think we can make the playoffs this year just due to the progression of a couple of our players. That 3rd line is really good, and the top lines should be really good too. Brendan Gallagher, actually, we paid a little bit more than that. He got 3.75. We gave him 3.87, but we got him, and that's all that matters. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you stay tuned. Next episode, we'll be playing the season opener against the Arizona Coyotes. Here's just a little amendment to the offseason. I got a couple things that I needed to add that I forgot to include in the initial recording. We're going to end up trading Hampus Lindholm, or trading Carl Alzner, Derek Roy, and Dmitry Orlov. All 3 players weren't really necessary. Carl Alzner is a defensive defenseman, and I have a team full of 2-way defensemen, so I wanted more of the player types to match up, especially for Seth Jones' development. I didn't want him to have a defensive defenseman kind of dragging him down. Derek Roy, who was going to end up playing 4th line for us, and wasn't really necessary. Doesn't have that great of stats. Didn't do that great for us last year, only 26 points. And Dmitry Orlov, who I don't even need to speak of, has Red Star potential now, is only an 81 at age 24, and only had 7 points in 28 NHL games. He had 11 including 7 goals in the minors, but just not good enough, especially considering that's down in his point total from his first NHL campaign where he had 11 points. So we're going to go through with this trade. The big piece coming back our way is Hampus Lindholm, who is coming off of an excellent season and has 4.5 star potential. Last season, he put up 6 goals and 20 points, which is good for a young defenseman. He was only a +7, but look at the shooting, look at the passing, and he has great defensive stats too. So we're going to be trading for him.